What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the Horsemen podcast, episode 19! And,
Too many fingers to count that.
yeah. Well, I think all of us combined we'd get every one of them, although somebody would have to go... There you go. So, yeah, welcome to the Horsemen podcast. Little quick announcement before we get to introductions. Next episode, episode 20... going to be our first live episode, the 1-year anniversary Q&A episode. Hope to do it here in the next couple of weeks, and that's going to be fun. Also, a quick side note, if Kamikaze Games pops in the middle of the stream, or not in the middle of the stream, the middle of the show, well, welcome aboard, but if he doesn't show up, you owe us, damn it! But I know why he's probably not here is because he said he'd be sleeping in. Yeah, but at least with Kamikaze, I know why he probably wouldn't be here, because he's trying to sleep in because he does overnight work, and I can understand you want to get as much sleep as possible. So, but without further ado, introductions, of course, yours truly. I'm just going to leave it at that. To my left, at least for now, unless Mr. Fireblade shows up and then takes up the spotlight, Ricky, a.k.a. Horror Master.
Hello.
Who's got a new mic, and it sounds a lot better, he ain't cutting out.
Testing. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1.
And then right above him is, with a new layout, or setup this time, please welcome Hannah Klein.
Hello! It's a bit lighter than usually.
Yeah, and then right next to her and above me is the man who I fear I'm going to get my ass whooped someday, and that's Artur Felipe Castanha.
As my good friend Scarface used to say, I don't do harm to anyone who did not coming to.
Alright, so today's episode, we are talking metal anthems. Now, for some people who think, what is a metal anthem? Well, basically the way I have, at least my list, criteria-wise, are songs that get the crowd at the live shows going and singing along to the choruses or certain lyric lines, or the theme of the song is very anthemic. So that's at least my criteria with my list.
I would add in a way that it's almost that song that you instantly think, when you speak of a band, you say straight away that song, in a way.
To an extent, yes.
Well, I thought about songs that celebrate the genre itself, get the crowd pumping, and have certain, have a certain kind of lyrics inside of them.
Yeah, most of the time some of them could be like a rebellious song. You know, you're being a teenager, and this song describes your situation right now. You want to stick it up to your parents or society and fuck you and all that.
Yeah, and then of course another thing I think somebody brought up, songs about metal or rock and roll in general.
I mean, to celebrate the genre and pay tribute to the music we love.
Absolutely. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So my list, I have 7 honorable mentions. First off, I got DRI Thrash Zone, or Thrash Hard, actually, not Thrash Zone, that's the album. Thrash Hard, the opening track on Thrash Zone. Song basically all about celebrating thrash metal and getting in the pit and going insane. This band came up earlier, and I completely forgot to put them in the top 10. Too late to change it now, so I put them in honorable mentions. AC/DC for those about to rock. That's, I completely forgot about AC/DC when putting together this list. Pantera Walk, I got on my list. Motley Crue Shout at the Devil. Possessed Death Metal, Venom Black Metal, and then this one I thought of 2 choices for this one. despite what you would say about them right now, but back in their heyday, they were hard to ignore or deny. Manowar, Kings of Metal.
I have it on my honorable I have on my honorable mentions as well, and I think it's the song that will break half.
So those are all my honorable mentions for different reasons. You know, Walk being like a tough guy anthem, plus the whole song being a complete breakdown, which was cool for the time. Shout out to Devil Motley Crue back when Motley was one of the most badass bands of the early 80s. AC/DC, what can you say? What more can you say? DRI, same deal. Possessed Death Metal, basically the song that coined the term death metal. Same with Venom. Black Metal, and then Kings of Metal, well, good riffs, good lyrics, good sing-along vocals, despite Manowar being Poison at this point.
Yep.
Yeah.
So there you have it with that. Ricky.
Well, this time I have 4 honorable mentions. The first one is also a Manowar song, and it's Die for Metal. The second song is Powerwolf, and this is a song that I was debating on putting it, but I decided to put it anyways. Bless and Possess. Talking about the Crusades, basically. And thanks to Arthur.
I personally would prefer Sanctify with Dynamite.
I mean, yeah, I would too, but Bless and Possess is one of my favorites, so I had to put it up here. The third one is Judas Priest, Painkiller. I almost put it on my list, but then I redid it, and I was like, you know, this song doesn't really go with my list. And at the time, this is the time that they really went metal, even though they didn't need to. They were already metal. And last but not least, this is a song that I had really high on my list, but after redoing it, I thought to myself, am I doing top 10 metal anthems, or am I doing top 10 metal songs? So I decided to take it out of the list, save it for that list, and that is Hallowed Be Thy Name, Iron Maiden.
Hannah.
I think I've got 7 honorable mentions. The first one being Rock of Ages by Whitesnake. I mean, it's an iconic song.
Wait,
Rock of Ages is Def Leppard, not Whitesnake.
Oh, shit.
Oh, we're sorry, metal gods.
I'm very sorry.
First time that happens.
Fuck. I always get confused by these old glam hard rock bands.
That's fine.
Shit. Well, you know what I mean. Moving on. Second song.
If I ever make a top 5 bloopers or funniest moments of this podcast, that's gonna be in the list. If I ever have the time to do that.
So, Rock of Ages by Def Leppard. Second song, Rammstein, Ich Will. I mean, we talked about this in the Rammstein episode. It's about crowd participation, and in my opinion, it's the best live song by Rammstein. And also with the lyrics, it could fit on this list, but I excluded it a bit because it's not that much talking about metal. The third one is System of a Down, BYOB.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I mean, the music in itself, it gets you pumping, it gets you dancing, but then it gets serious, and it's a bit about anti-war. I mean, it gets you moving.
Bring your own bomb.
Yeah. What else is there to say? I mean, I was thinking about Chop Suey, but I like BYOB more, especially with the message. Then next, also Walk by Pantera. Levi already talked about it. Yep. Next one, I wasn't really sure which Venom song I would choose. So I've got Welcome to Hell and In League with Satan here. I mean, both are great. Both could be kind of called black metal anthems, or at least early black metal anthems. And the last honorable mention is Raining Blood by Slayer. I mean, it's the trademark Slayer song. It's energetic. It's the best song to mosh to while listening to Slayer. What else is there to say?
And now, Artur.
I also have 7, although a bit differently. I start off with Inowa Satana by Emperor. I mean,
I was thinking about that.
It's an anthem. It's an anthem even by itself. I mean,
Yes.
it's one of those songs that you associate straightly with. I would say the second phase of black metal, a bit like Freezing Moon, and Katarian Life Code by Dark Throne, but I put in Inowa Satana by Emperor. I was tempting to put Scream Bloody Gore or Pull the Plug by Death, but I had to go with their instrumental Cosmic Sea. It's not like Orion. It's not like Orion by Metallica, but still, I would say it's one of their masterpieces and an anthem to Chuck Schuldiner career. This one I put here out of personal taste, but being a lifelong Moonspell fan, I could not put here. I could not skip not putting here Alma Mater by Moonspell. It's that song that instantly connects you with Moonspell itself, despite not understanding the lyric. And even when they come here to Portugal, everyone behind you is singing, especially the parts in Portuguese, which is basically a rebellion. And in these modern times, it's a bit like that. That says, turning our backs against the world, proudly alone, ancient glory return to us. Roughly translated. I've put here also a rebellious anthem, Balls to the Wall by Accept.
Oh, I forgot about that one. Damn it!
It's on my list. It's on my list.
I mean, Balls to the Wall. That intro riff, those twin guitars by Dieter Hoffman and Dieter Dirks. It just pumps you up. I mean, even the song itself, it is itself an anthem to rebellion. Megadeth's Peace Sells, but Who's Buying? The song. It's also on my list.
I forgot that one.
Come on. I'm
It's
sorry
on
to
my
kill
list.
everyone. Oh boy. Now, the Metal War song, I was tempting to put here either Kings of Metal, Hail and Kill, but I had to go with Heart of Steel. I mean, Heart of Steel, even despite the poison that they are, standing with so many people singing all the lyrics of Heart of Steel, it's still to this day a great feeling to, which is also connected to another band that I'll be mentioning as well. And last but not least, despite what I think of them, I cannot deny that Pantera had a lot of rebellious anthems through a time, and Walk is arguably the most recognizable of them. Even though I could put here Cowboys from Hell, or even if I could put here Cowboys from Hell, or what's that other Revolution? Revolution is 2.
Yeah, I feel ashamed I
Pantera's
completely
same.
forgot about Accept.
Balls to the wall.
Although if I would have went Accept, I probably would have went with the song Stampede off of Blind Rage. Because that's my favorite Accept album.
Although I would have considered putting Teutonic Terror.
That one too, that's a great one. Alright, Metal Heart would have been a good one too. Alright, so now time for the actual top 10. I shall begin with my number 10. It's the same song, but by 2 different artists.
Hellraiser.
Yes, Hellraiser by both Ozzy Osbourne and
Yeah!
Motorhead.
I was listening to Hellraiser on the way here. I was on the radio.
But yeah, like both versions are great. Motorhead's a little bit faster and a little more raw, whereas Ozzy's was a little more epic. And I think because of that, I prefer Ozzy's version. But the Motorhead version's kick-ass as well. Plus, with the music video from the Hellraiser movie in
That's awesome.
early '90s, so it was fitting. And of course,
Even Pinhead cannot beat Let Me at a game of cards.
No. No. And of course, both songs having the classic, of course, Hellraiser, in the thunder and heat. Like, who doesn't love that, honestly?
I
both versions are great.
I prefer the Motorhead versions, more powerful than the Ozzy version.
Same here.
I mean, to each their own. But yeah, my number 10, Ozzy and Motorhead, Hellraiser. Alright, Hannah.
My number 10 is The Book of Heavy Metal by Dream Evil.
Forgot about that one too.
Forgot that one too.
I forgot.
I mean, it's the only Dream Evil song I know, but it's so fucking catchy. I mean, it's basically what a heavy metal anthem should be. It talks about metal. It talks about being true to the genre. Marching as one united for metal, and it's just so. And the music, it gets you pumping.
Especially that alternative part. I mean, read all about it, and then like a King Diamond scream. In the book of heavy metal.
I mean, the first line of it, I signed a contract with the devil, and it gets getting better and better, and it's such a well-written, well-produced track. It's awesome.
I was gonna say I mostly know that song from the YouTuber Andrea Bomo, something Italian, who does a lot of like 50 band riffs and actually got invited to Rammstein's CD release party and did the 50 Rammstein riffs in front of Paul and Richard, I think.
And Schneider.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I mostly know the song from seeing him play that riff on a couple of videos. But yeah, I forgot about that one. Ricky.
I'm a Texan. Pantera to be on the list. And Arrow would spoil it. It's Walk.
Are you talking to me?
Arguably, Pantera, one of the bands from the 90s that people say they give Pantera too much credit.
Yeah, they do.
The one thing I give credit Pantera, and Levi's mentioned it before, breakdowns. They could do the breakdowns like perfectly. Like the metalcore bands, deathcore, they should.
Vinnie Paul was an amazing drummer. Both
was.
Abbott brothers were great musicians.
Yeah, it was. I was gonna be ashamed. I was gonna be kick myself in the ass if I didn't have a Pantera song. Since I'm a Texan, they're Texas made, and it's just a kick-ass song to raise your fist.
Respect. Walk. What do you say?
This might be the one episode that we might sing a lot. I'll tell you that.
Maybe.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Artur.
I think I'm the one of the few that likes to go in under ludicrous speed, because I've put here 2 Slayer anthems, and you probably know which ones I'll be saying. One of them has already been mentioned.
Raining
Blood.
I'm gonna take a guess. War Ensemble.
No.
Oh.
Angel of Death.
Angel of Death. I mean, those 2 Slayer songs are anthems by itself. I mean, Raining Blood, which is basically a cry out against religion, and of course, Angel of Death, the story of Joseph Mengele, which in itself it is a bit what Sabaton does with Rise of Evil. Although while Sabaton does under light speed, Slayer does under ludicrous speed. If you don't understand that reference, watch Space. But Slayer has made anthems throughout the years. Hell Awaits, Seasons in the Abyss, Dead Skin Mask, War Assemble. Although I still like Call for War.
Yeah.
But nothing beats Raining Blood, From a Lasher in the Sky, or even Angel of Death. Cry to the Kingdom of the Dead. So,
yeah, that classic opening scream.
Yeah. Exactly. So, Angel of Death and Raining Blood are my number two. And I'll be doing a lot of these two songs in a way.
Well, Artur, while we're at it, why don't we begin with you at number 9?
So, whoops. This one was a bit spoiled while we were talking about, but these 3 songs are anthems anywhere in the world, no matter what genre. I've picked Queen because they have done rock, they have done heavy metal, they have done pop, they have done jazz, they have done everything. But these 3 are anthems that are known all over the world. We Are the Champions is still sang in football stadiums all over the world. We Will Rock You. I mean, if you don't start clapping to that
stomp at the
stomp.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. If you can clap the hands or starting to do the stomp, I mean, you're just dead. And is there anything else that I gotta say about Bohemian Rhapsody?
No.
A song that everywhere in the world as it starts, if you do like those try not to sing challenges, you will automatically fail because you have to sing Bohemian Rhapsody. So
is this a real life?
Exactly.
Is this just fantasy?
I mean, and is there a song that has been more sang, parodied, ripped off, and I mean, probably Hey Jude by
Beatles.
But
Beatles, yeah.
In the number 9, it's a Queen trifecta: Bohemian Rhapsody, We Will Rock You, and We Are the Champions.
All right, my number 9. Looking back on it, being on a studio album was a bit hokey, but the music behind it is fucking amazing. Lyrically, it's definitely fitting for a live song. Rise Up by Testament.
Ooh.
I mean, especially if you watch the live version of it off the Dark Roots of Thrash live DVD. Good lord, the crowd went nuts whenever they go, Rise Up, War! Like, that was so crazy. Plus, it was one of my favorite songs off of Dark Roots of Earth when it came out in 2012. So, number 9, Rise Up by Testament. Hannah.
This is probably the least known song on my list. It's Under Black Flags We March by Arch Enemy.
I forgot about Arch Enemy. I considered putting We Will Rise on my list. I forgot about Arch Enemy.
I thought about that one as well, but I prefer this one. I mean, it was on Chaos Legion, the last record with Angela Gossoff on vocals, and at least in my opinion, this song is overlooked. But for me, it's my favorite song out of this record because it gets you marching, gets you pumping, it gets you moshing. It's so powerful yet overlooked, and I don't know why. I mean, Nemesis and all these other songs are great as well, but this one, I love it. Under black flags we march, and so on. It's simply so epic.
Although I would also consider to put on that list Silent Wars.
That's Under Black Flags We March is my favorite.
Ricky.
Archer spoiled it in his honorable mentions, except Balls to the Wall. Again, I mean, it's except one of the best songs of the early 80s, the song that really made Accept what they are today. And the guitar riff, I mean, I played it on guitar, it's just so powerful.
I think that to me the song that put Accept on the map was Fast as a Shark.
Yeah.
Oh, that one too. But if you want to talk about stardom, Balls to the Wall is their song. That guitar riff, da 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 da, and then the choruses, everyone, balls to the wall, man. It's just a great song.
Yeah.
And now look at Accept. Ever since 2010 with Blood of the Nations, they've been on probably one of the best comebacks of any band in the history of metal. With Mark Tornillo on vocals, in my opinion, I prefer him than Udo Darkschneider. because Mark Tornillo sounds like a more heavy metal version of Brian Johnson from AC/DC, which is kind of cool. Now moving on to number 8. Ricky, how about you start with number 8? Wait. Number 8. Damn it! I've screwed it up.
Oh god. Well,
number 8.
This is.
Damn it! Okay, I got it out there now. All right, Ricky.
This is a song that talks about the uniform of metal, and I think Archer might have it on his list. Denim and Leather by Saxon.
It's on my list too.
I don't have it on mine. I forgot Denim and Leather. I forgot Denim and Leather.
I mean,
I forgot Denim and Leather. I forgot Wheels of Steel. Oh boy! But I know how to counteract in a way. Yeah. I forgot Denim and Leather. It's not on my list.
Yeah, a song that talks about the uniform of metal that unites us, denim and leather. Denim and leather, bring us all together. It was you that set my spirit free. Yeah.
Oh man.
Oh god.
Oh boy. Alright, before I go insane again, Hannah.
I've got an Iron Maiden song on my number 8, and that's The Number of the Beast. I mean, the intro riff is iconic, and I mean, when the crowd chants loudly 666, the number of the beast. I mean, it's just so iconic and talking about the devil, and as opposed to the usual historical themes of the songs. I mean, I was thinking about Hallowed Be Thy Name and Run to the Hills, but I mean, when it comes to metal, metal and a bit of the devil, they go hand in hand, and so I had to pick this song.
And I will see Maiden in 2 weeks, and I'll be at that. Sex, the number of the beast.
But I'm sure that people will sing a lot more, sing a whole lot higher with what I have here in my Iron Maiden.
Maybe even on mine too.
All right, yeah.
All right.
I mean, I mostly picked it because of the theme.
Artur.
I cannot do Anthems without mentioning the forefathers of heavy metal, Black Sabbath. And once again, I have two. Iron Man, come on. Even it's a
yes, he lost his mind.
Exactly.
Can he see
one of the more iconic riffs of all time. A song that still has crowds all over the world starting.
Yep.
I mean, it's impossible not to put it as an anthem. Iron Man, just in the same way that I could put here War Pigs or even Black Sabbath, but Iron Man is Iron Man. And the other, and Levi can appreciate this, one of the songs that has one of the more beautiful bass lines of them all, Children of the Grave. I mean, Children of the Grave, that whole bass intro that you will start to hear. You instantly know it's Children of the Grave. And although I like the bass intro, I prefer even that doomy part that Iommi starts to go. I mean, it's an anthem. However you want to put it, both Iron Man and Children of the Grave.
All right, my number 8 is another Bay Area thrash legend, Exodus, Bonded by Blood. I mean, especially that. I'm trying to remember the full lyric off the top of my head. It was like murder in the front row. something, there's blood upon the stage. Bang your head against the stage as metal takes its place. Bonded by blood. You know, I mean, that's such an iconic chorus in the history of thrash, and they used that title, Murder in the Front Row, for an upcoming thrash metal Bay Area documentary with Metallica, Possessed, Exodus, Testament, Death Angel, Forbidden, Heathen, Violence, and even outside Bay Area like Megadeth, Slayer, Anthrax, Overkill. So many. I can't wait for that documentary when it comes out. That's going to be good. I don't know if it'll be as good as Get Thrashed, in my opinion. We'll see. But number 8, Bonded by Blood by Exodus. Now, we're at to number 7, Hannah. Well,
I mentioned Steel Panther last episode. Now it's time to mention them again.
I think I might know which one you're going with.
Yeah.
Just take a guess.
Death to All But Metal.
I mean, what else was there to choose? I mean, Steel Panther bashing Madonna, bashing all sorts of Katy Perry and whatever. I mean, it's just great. It's comedy, but I mean, it's so entertaining. Bashing Mariah Carey and saying there's nothing else but metal, and then the guest appearance of Corey Taylor. I mean, I really like this song, and I really like Steel Panther, and I mean, what is there not to love about this one?
If I was to have put a comedic metal anthem on my list, I would have put Tenacious D, The Metal. After all, I also love Jack Black. My number 7. Metal anthem lists you can't ignore, or in my opinion, when it comes to putting a metal anthems list, you can't do one without mentioning Twisted Sister. But there are so many from Twisted Sister you could go for. You could go, I Wanna Rock. We're not going to take it. But I'm going to go with one that's...
Stop rock and roll.
That's my answer. That's the least obvious, but you can't stop rock and roll. So heavy, so fist pumping, and it'd be fitting for like in like the world of pro wrestling. Somebody who's got a rock and roll gimmick, somebody could use this song.
Even MMA tried to see someone coming out with you can't stop rock and roll. I could see that.
Yeah. I mean, after all, it's probably my personal favorite Twisted Sister song, one of their heaviest, and I mean, in the title alone, you can't stop rock and roll, so number 7, you can't stop rock and roll, Twisted Sister. Ricky.
Well, you mentioned Twisted Sister, I'm gonna mention Quiet Riot. And the
Damn it, I forgot about them too! Ah!
Come on, feel the noise.
Oh, that was I was actually gonna go with Bang Your Head Metal Health. Yeah.
I mean, I could have gone with Bang Your Head, but this one's a personal favorite of mine. Especially since this was a song that in 1983 put Metal Health, the first metal album, at number 1, beating
on
the
Billboard.
Police,
Yeah.
beating the Police. And Michael Jackson's Thriller. That says a lot, being that Thriller's the most sold album of all time. That says something.
Yep.
And the story, I like the story that when they were recording it, Kevin DuBrow hated the original version by Slade, so he tried to sing it as worse as possible. And look what happened. It became one of the best anthems in the 80s, especially 1983.
And Artur.
Sorry. I mean, I could not make any sort of anthems list without giving props to a man also that gave us so many great anthems. Whether it's Stargazer, whether it's Stargazer, whether it's We Rock, but Ronnie James Dio with each of his, I forgot, Heaven and Hell, Mob Rules, Neon Nights, and such, but I could not sleep well without mentioning that are both anthems, although in a more story-based, imagination-driven songs. Rainbow in the Dark, and I know that Ronnie hated this song. I don't know why. Maybe because it had too many
keyboards. Yeah, that was why.
Or such. But Rainbow in the Dark, and is there any other song that I could have put here without if except for Holy Diver? I mean,
or Rainbow Holy Long Diver, Live Rock and Roll.
Yeah, I could put the Long Live Rock and Roll too, but I mean, and I could have put here We Rock too, but I think that these two by itself are already anthems on their own. Even I could put here Stargazer, Tarot Woman, and such, but to me, Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver are anthems anywhere you see it. If not anthems for metal in general, how about the blueprints for what power metal would eventually become? So, number 7, Dio's Rainbow in the Dark and Holy Diver.
Alright, Ricky, number 6.
Well, still speaking of Dio, my number 6 is a Dio song. It's not Holy Diver, it's not Rainbow in the Dark, it's the song that opens the album Holy Diver. Stand Up and Shout.
I forgot about that one. I am such an idiot. I forgot so many. It was like I put the list at last minute last night. And, my brain was just everywhere.
I mean, Arthur explained a bit. That album, in general, is the predecessor to power metal. And I actually rediscovered the song because I watched the Lords of Chaos movie, and it's in the movie. So I was like, man, I forgot how good the song was. Except the movie scene and all that. But still, I mean, it's in the name. Stand up and shout. Scream out loud. Say whatever the hell you want. Rebel against society. And all that. That's my number 6.
Oh, man. Okay, my number 6 was spoiled by Ricky. Saxon, Denim, and Leather. I mean, short, sweet, to the point. It's the song all about the uniform of heavy metal with denim pants and the leather vests, leather jackets, and all that stuff. Plus, it's a catchy tune, and Saxon, you could have put several, similar to Twisted Sister. You could put, you could have went with Princess of the Night, Heavy Metal Thunder, Wheels of Steel, Strong Arm of the Law. So many you could have went for with Saxon, but of course the most obvious, Denim and Leather, and for good reason. Hannah.
I've got 2 songs. The first one is Seek and Destroy by Metallica. out of the first record, I mean, it's, in my opinion, one of the strongest live songs and has amazing crowd participation. When everybody screams "Seek and Destroy," and it, I mean, in my opinion, one of the best live songs. And the other one is by a band kind of predecessor to Thrash. It's Metal on Metal by Anvil.
Oh.
I mean, the first lines in the lyrics, metal on metal, it's what I crave. The louder the better, I turn in my grave. I mean, it goes on and on in the lyrics. It's a kind of a love anthem to why somebody would love metal and what it's all about, listening to metal. I'm glad that they're still going strong and playing live concerts, and this is without a doubt their best song, and everybody knows this. And if this is not a metal anthem, then what else is? And now I killed everybody.
No, you killed Levi.
Well, I killed Levi.
My number 6. And I'll try to make you justice. You know I'm born to lose, and gambling's for fools, but that's the way
I like it, baby.
I mean, Motorhead gave us anthems out the ass. I mean, But was there any other choice in the card deck than Ace of Spades? I mean, Ace of Spades, you get people moshing, people headbanging. They know it's an instant classic, and if I remember, Fast Eddie Clark said on an interview, I would rather have Ace of Spades than £1 million on the bank, because Ace of Spades will continue on here while I'm gone. And unfortunately, all the original members of Motorhead have passed away. Fast Eddie Clark, Filthy Animal Taylor, and even Lemmy himself. Not to forget Warzo, but I mentioned the original members.
Yeah.
Ace of Spades is still very much here, with also a mention to Overkill itself. The song that many people argue it started the thrash metal movement. Even Lars Ulrich himself, who cannot play the drums today to save his life, he quotes Phil Animal Taylor as his biggest inspiration. So, Ace of Spades and Overkill, Anthems, anywhere in the world.
Alright, now we're into the second half, the top 5. And I shall begin this one. I technically spoiled this on Facebook. People have been probably waiting, when is this song or this band gonna pop up? Amon Amarth, Raise Your Horns. I mean, the newest song on my list came out in 2016. I mean, especially when you watch the music video and you see them play it live and they have the drinking horns or raising the horns. And then all the cameos from so many different musicians, from Killswitch Engage, Cattle Decapitation, Asphyx, Slayer, Disturbed, Trivium, Sabaton, and even Hannah's got the horn right there.
Shayna Baszler.
Yeah.
Now I only need beer.
I
I don't have any.
You like beer in beer country? That's strange.
That's strange.
That is weird.
There was a party. Run dry.
But especially that chorus, that raise your horns, raise them up to the sky. We will drink to glory tonight. I mean, it's hard to ignore that. It's one of their catchiest songs, probably my favorite song off of Yam's Viking when it came out in 2016. And the music video with all the cameos. Starting with Killswitch Engage with Jesse and Adam, ending with Nurgle from Behemoth. That was cool. And even some unexpected ones, like David Draymond from Disturbed. That was a bit unexpected, but shows you how much of a metalhead he is. And of course, the expected, like Matt Heafy from Trivium, the singer of Sabaton, and so many others.
Joachim Ruden.
Yeah. So, my number 5, Amon Amarth, Raise Your Horns. Hannah.
From Amon Amarth to Sabaton. When I was thinking about this list, this song popped into my head immediately because it's a homage to so many great metal bands, and the song is Metal. I mean, throughout the songs, countless bands are mentioned, from Venom to Accept to Wasp, Judas Priest, Maiden, and Guns N' Roses, and so on. It's a true homage to metal, and one of my favorite Sabaton songs. So catchy, very intelligent lyrics. One of my favorites.
Ricky.
Hannah spoiled it with her number 6, which is Metallica Seek and Destroy. Yeah. I mean,
I have Metallica 2, not Seek and Destroy.
I mean, Hannah perfectly said it already. Seek and Destroy, one of the songs that everyone in the arena just Seek and Destroy. And it's just a great Metallica song, and it kicks ass.
Truly does.
Mm-hmm.
Artur.
I'll give you Seek and Destroy, but I know that these two songs that I have from Metallica, more people will sing these songs faster than they sing Seek and Destroy, or at the same time. Controlling faster, obey your master.
Master puppets pulling the strings.
Exactly, master of puppets. I mean, as much as we like to say shit about Metallica in these recent years, yeah, they're one of the best live they're one of the best live bands of all. And Master of Puppets, hearing everyone saying controlling, even James quiets too when even James stays in sounds and lets the people sing all the choruses. So I have Master of Puppets and I have another one. Exit light. Enter night. I mean,
take my hand.
How can you forget about Sandman? I mean, Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman. Yeah, Seek and Destroy is a great choice. No question about it. But Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman are just as vociferously sang live as Seek and Destroy is, which usually Seek and Destroy ends all shows. So, the Master and Sandman, my number.
Alright, now top 4 time. Artur, I'll let you begin.
Oh boy. I did not want to do this, but Valhalla Deliverance. Have you ever forgotten me? When you get 25 to 30,000 people singing the song, even though the band has stopped, and you all still hear Valhalla Deliverance, Have You Ever Forgot Me, you know that you have an anthem on your hands. I could have easily put here the Bard song as well, but Valhalla is as big an anthem. And as I said, see any of their Valhalla live videos, and you
especially as Wacken.
Wacken, the somewhere through the looking glass as well, and tell me that you don't get pumped to hear Valhalla.
Chills, I get chills.
Valhalla by Blind Guardian.
Alright, my number 4. Artur spoiled it earlier in his honorable mentions. Megadeth Peace Sells. I mean, after all, the bass riff at the beginning was the MTV News theme for so many years. It should go to show you the catchiness of that riff, but the lyrics, of course. I mean, Dave Mustaine's ranting about political stuff.
When MTV was really music television and not pop television.
Or reality television. And don't worry, someday we're going to do a whole video about MTV and a bunch of other stuff. But yeah, Peace Sells, Megadeth. Especially when you hear Dave Mustaine doing those like rants at the beginning, like, "What do you mean I don't believe in God? Talk to him every day. What do you mean I don't support your system? I go to court when I have to." Like, those are all questions we all ask every day. Like,
tell me something. Is it still we, the people, right?
Yeah.
Especially in your current in our current political climate.
Yes.
It's still we, the people, right?
Yeah. So my number 4, Megadeth, Peace Sells. Hannah.
I wasn't sure which song to pick, so I simply picked 2. Both by Twisted Sister. The first one is I Wanna Rock. Classic song. I mean, who doesn't want to rock? And
exactly.
the second one is We're Not Gonna Take It, which I mean, it's such a great protest song, especially with all these oil pipeline protests recently brought up in North Dakota, and Dee Snider redoing it, and it's still relevant to this day. Both amazing songs, both get your blood pumping, and I love both music videos.
Yeah. What do you want to do with your life?
I wanna rock.
Best video clip I've seen. When I started to see that video was cheesy, but it was great. It was
so awesome.
It was a Looney Tunes, but come back to life.
Ricky.
My number 4, Judas Priest, Breaking the Law.
That's my number 3, damn you.
I mean, I could have gone with Living After Midnight, but Breaking the Law is probably one of my favorite Priest songs. And I mean, it's in the title, Breaking the Law. We all broken the law once or twice in our life, even if it's the smallest, law. I mean, you feel good about it. You feel rebellious. You feel like you can take over the world. You got the whole world in your hands.
Yeah, basically, fuck you guys.
Now I'm like Bray Wyatt. I got the whole world.
Yeah, basically back then, whenever I did something crazy, I'd just be like, in my head, I'd be like, "'Cause I said fuck you guys."
I mean, a.k.a. and Glenn Tinton, the 2 greatest dual guitarists. That guitar riff, and Rob. I mean, Rob is Rob. What more can I say?
Yeah. Alright, well, top 3 time. I'll go ahead and get through mine. Breaking the Law, Judas Priest. I mean, self-explanatory. Ricky pretty much took the words right out of my mouth. So I'll just leave it at that. Ricky, you're number 3, and hope I don't get murdered again.
Well, Hannah spoiled it in her number 4. Twisted Sister, We're Not Gonna Take It. That video, such Looney Toony, and can't believe it was banned in that time, which I think it was ridiculous. But then it was the PMR. It was the PMRC at the time, which
fuck the PMRC up the asshole.
Which we have already talked deeply into the PMRC
back in the censorship and metal episode.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, it's a great rebellious song. I mean, even you're a kid, you listen to the song. We're not gonna take it anymore. You can screw the world. You can like. It's just a great song to listen to, especially in your teenage years.
Artur.
I also have Judas Priest on my number 3, but not Breaking the Law. Although one of the songs has been spoiled, it's Painkiller. I mean, it's highly recognizable. I mean, the drum entrance by Scott Travis is highly recognizable anywhere you go. Tipton and Downing at his best in the guitars, and okay, Alfred's trying to screw his voice, but still, it is an anthem. Despite also Anthem from Japan doing a similar type of song, but instead of having Breaking the Law, this one is a bit of a personal, but I know it's an anthem anywhere you see it. And probably Jack Dorsey's and Mark Zuckerberg's favorite song, The Electric Eye. I mean, even The Electric Eye is a description of Big Brother watching us, which is now something that we know that has been happening right now with Google, Facebook, Alexa, and all that stuff. So, but as a song itself, it is an amazing song, especially since you have everyone from the start going whoa 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 whoa, and this is the Helion intro,
yeah.
But it's, as I said, it is as derivative as it is iconic. Painkiller and The Electric Eye, with Helion, of course, by Judas Priest.
Hannah.
Levi, you already picked something? Or I think Arthur has to unmute himself.
There.
Yeah. Well, Levi already picked something from Amon Amarth. Now it's time for me to pick something from Amon Amarth, but I picked something different. I talked about Twilight of the Thunder God extensively. It's my favorite Amon Amarth record, and there's one song on this record that fits here perfectly, and that's Guardians of Asgard. And the thing, I mean, the whole album is about Norse mythology, about Ragnarok, the end of the world, and I mean, in the end, all those guardians stand tall trying to defend Asgard from the end. And the way they do it in this song is just so energetic. It feels like you are a part of these Guardians of Asgard defending the mighty city, and they perfectly managed to do that with this song, and that's why I love it. It gets your blood pumping. The lyrics are awesome. It deals with mythology and tries to incorporate the crowd into this song, and I love what they do here.
Well, now we're into the top 2. I shall begin my number 2 with Iron Maiden now, which song? The Trooper. Oh, I thought I was going to murder Artur finally, but no.
He's still alive!
I still don't get my wish. Why can't I have nice things in life? Like a woman. But that's a whole nother issue. Iron Maiden.
No problem.
Iron Maiden, the Trooper. I mean, of course, that gallop and especially that riff and bass line at the beginning. That like that's so iconic, and of course Bruce's voice soaring through the whole entire song. And if you hear the crowd going, oh, like, how is that not powerful? Like, holy shit. And I can see why Banger TV used that song as the intro for Metal Evolution. So, my number 2, Iron Maiden, The Trooper. Yeah. Hannah, you're number 2.
Ricky is wearing the t-shirt.
Artur is about to...
The exact same song on it. I mean, it's AC/DC for those about to rock.
That's my number 2!
Artur again! Always kill Artur!
I mean, it's an homage to everyone who likes to rock. One of my favorite AC/DC songs. Lyrics are perfect. What else is there to say? I was thinking about TNT because I love that one. That was my graduation song. But for those about to rock, simply fits closer to being a metal anthem regarding the lyrics, in my opinion.
Yeah. I was about to say, I almost forgot to bring this up earlier when I brought up that song in my honorable mentions. My oldest brother's girlfriend at the time, every time they would hear this song on the radio, she would think it was a stripper song, and I'm like, are you nuts?
What? That's insulting! That's insulting!
Like, I always made fun of her for that. And she's like, it sounds like a stripper song. I'm like, it's not, you idiot. I could get Let Me Put My Love Into You being it, but not for those about to rock.
I would say Rock and Roll and Noise Pollution as a stripper song.
No, actually, what would you do for Money Honey?
Oh, okay, that's a good one.
Or You Shook Me All Night Long, that's obvious.
Oh yeah.
Or Big Balls.
Big balls. You got
big balls.
You know what would be hilarious? You know what would be hilarious if Rammstein covered that song and sang it in German?
Yes,
that'd be hilarious.
Yes. Straight after Pussy.
Oh God. What we are fucked up people, but it's awesome. Alright, oh God. Ricky.
Well, Hannah mentioned it. I have the shirt. It's well documented. AC/DC is my favorite band of all time. I had to put For Those About to Rock with Salute You. The song that opens, in my mind,
I am going murder every single one of you with my number one.
Like I said.
Well, not mine.
I think mine neither.
Ricky possibly, Hannah too.
Oh no!
The song that opens their heaviest album, and the song that they end every single show. I mean, when they bring the canyons, and then when Ryan Johnson says, "For those about to rock, fire!"
Yeah.
We salute you. Fire! It just pumps me up like,
Especially when they bring out the artillery.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I could go on and on about AC/DC, but I know my time is coming. One of these days, it's coming.
All right. Artur, I believe, at number 2 next.
Shit, I've dodged so many bullets now. I almost think that I...
Somehow!
What?
I'm gonna get you someday.
I'll be waiting. But I have 2 Iron Maiden songs as well in my number 2. One of them has already been spoiled. It's Hallowed Be Thy Name. Although I don't see that many people singing Hallowed Be Thy Name that much, except for the last part. Oh, hallowed be thy name. But it's still an amazing song, and Maiden has also made anthems out the ass. I mean, Rime of the Ancient Mariner, Rothschild, Run to the Hills, even in the new, the Ghost of Navigators, even the Blaze
Blood
Bailey
Brothers.
Exactly. Even the Blaze Bailey area spawned out a great anthem in Sign of the Cross. But the other Iron Maiden song and this, Ricky will feel this, especially since they open up the shows with this song. Run, live to fly, fly to live, do or die. Aces high. I mean, Aces high. It is impossible not to sing, especially the chorus part. I'm not saying that you should shout also aces high like Bruce does, but I mean, how can you not sing along with aces high? It's a song that anywhere in the world where Iron Maiden has played, everyone knows aces high, and that's a real definition of a great anthem. I'll Be Thy Name and Aces High.
Well, now it's time for number 1. I'll go ahead and get this out here because I've wanted to fall back on my chair again, but I don't want to have to fix it. My number 1 has been spoiled twice by Hannah and Ricky, and that's Metallica's Seek and Destroy. I mean, it's iconic, their classic closing song. And my favorite version, apart from On Kill 'Em All, was on the Live Shit Binge and Purge triple live album, where it was 18 minutes, and it was just like Newstead on the bass, and Hetfield getting everyone singing Search and Seek and Destroy. I thought that was pretty cool. So, my number 1, Metallica, Seek and Destroy. Oh, good lord. I'm going to save Artur for last on this one, so I'm going to go to Hannah.
My number 1 is by a band that is hated nowadays by pretty much everyone. It has been in some honorable mentions of you guys. It's Manuwar's Warriors of the World United.
Oh, I forgot about that one.
I mean, when I was first thinking about this list, this song immediately popped out into my head. I mean, wherever they play, everybody sings it along. It's a call to arms for metalheads. It's very, the music in it is very simple. The riff and the bass line and the drums are very, very simple, but very effective nonetheless. And the music, I mean, there's nothing wrong about it, and the lyrics are great as well. Uniting metalheads around the world and shit like that. Brothers everywhere, raise your hand into the air. We're warriors, warriors of the world. I mean, surely they have also other great anthems like Heart of Steel, and so on. But for me, this one, because it's so simplistic, it's probably the best one. I mean, sure, there's a lot of shit wrong with Manowar, especially lately, but and with them not showing up to concerts, and I'm not talking much more about it. I'm not the biggest Manowar fan, but I love this song.
Ricky.
I think just by the first lyrics I'm gonna sing, you'll know which one it is. Generals scattered in their masses.
Just like witches at black masses.
Evil minds that plot destruction.
Sorcerer of death's construction.
In the field, the body's burning.
As the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind.
Poisoning the brainwashed mind.
Everybody!
Oh Lord, yeah! Vortex. It had to be my number one. Not just a metal anthem, but an anti-war song, even though originally it's not really an anti-war song, but this song came out during the Vietnam War, so it fit perfectly. And just Tomi Iommi's guitar riff, no wonder he is the metal god. He is the true originator of heavy metal. Iommi's hands are pure metal.
Yeah. And I also forgot to mention that one part in the intro riff where it goes... The Crown covered that part on the song Killing Star off of Death Race King, which was really cool. Made that intro to that song so much more epic. Forgot to mention that. Which, by the way, check out that song for anybody who's never heard of The Crown. Listen to the song Killing Star. It's a Swedish thrash masterpiece. And now, Artur, what song did you think you would kill everyone with? Because it doesn't seem like it worked.
Thunder! Thunderstruck. I mean, how can you not make an anthem, metal anthem song without freaking Thunderstruck? I mean,
apparently we did.
I mean, it's impossible not to make this list without Thunderstruck. I mean, you have teams coming out. You have sporting teams coming out to Thunderstruck. You had wrestlers coming out. You had wrestlers coming out to Thunderstruck. You have all events starting out with Thunderstruck. I know that even some college football teams also have Thunderstruck in their entrance, just like
or even covering it in like the halftime marching band segments.
Yeah, but I mean, come on, Thunderstruck. I mean, it's a call to the gods. I mean, we need the blessing of the gods, which is the thunder coming, which is the thunder. I mean, it's no reason why no wonder why AC/DC were known as the Thunder from Down Under. I mean, it was power, and Ricky knows that he should have put here also Thunder. In a way, he should have put here Thunderstruck.
I was about to, but For Us About to Rock is way better, in my opinion,
and more iconic.
Thunderstruck is as iconic. I dare you. The Thunderstruck is as iconic as For Those About to Rock.
Yeah, it is. I don't deny it.
But I think it fits better for this category than Thunderstruck.
I think that Thunderstruck. I think Thunderstruck can also fit here as well. I mean, you will never see a crowd standing still whenever Angus starts with that iconic. Although Highway to Hell can be also a bit of a mention, but Thunderstruck is an anthem all by itself. Thunder!
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that does it for episode 19 of the Horsemen podcast, Metal Anthems. How do I recover every time I get murdered by you people? I don't know how. I must have infinite lives or something. Like a cat.
At least Argentinian great mass
genocide.
Genocide, yeah.
But beside the point, so that was episode 19 as far as future episodes. The next episode's going to be a special one, the 1-year anniversary, and we're going live for that episode. Artur is selling his soul to the Google devil by going to Google Hangouts for this one, because that was the best way we could do it live. Maybe Kamikaze will be there if he doesn't sleep in. I see he's online on Discord and he's not responded back. If you're watching this, you owe us. But in all seriousness, we love you, dude. Yeah. But yeah, as far as after that, we got folk metal albums, which I've got to do a lot of digging on. And then after that, I believe we're doing Roadrunner Records albums. Mm-hmm. And then after that, AC/DC songs, where we're going to break Ricky in half. And then after that, it's all up in the air. So we got episodes 20, 21, 22, and 23
Although one of
in
the
the books.
Subjects that I know I'm going to be enraged to do this, and everyone seems to want, is a Lord of Chaos discussion. That I'm going to be on full rant mode.
I mean, we could do that probably at the beginning of next year, since it'll be the 1 year that the movie came out.
Yep.
And also the 2019 top 10 metal albums of the year.
Yeah, that will have to be the final episode of the year, the top 10. So we'll work around.
And 2019 has been so great already.
Mm-hmm. It
And
has.
it's not over yet.
No, it's not.
I just saw that Nile is coming out with their new album.
November is looking great. November's looking great. You got Nile, Blind Guardian, Despised Icon, Cattle Decapitation.
Mayhem will launch Demon in November.
Yeah, you also got... Hell, we're in September where there's some good stuff coming out. Exhorder, Opeth, Borknagar, Dragon Force, among so many others.
Since when Dragon Force is good stuff?
I thought their album in 2016 was pretty good.
And
also they call the album, and they also call the album Extreme Power Metal. I'm going to be curious to hear how that's going to go. So,
Extreme Power Metal.
Sounds like an extremely crap album title.
And then for Hannah, it's announced that at some point this year, or they may wait till early next year, Lindemann, the project of Till Lindemann and Peter Tactigren's got an album coming.
Looking forward to that. And also Alcest and so many great more. I always forget the albums I pre-ordered.
And even some unknown bands that I got on my list. One being a Norwegian death metal band called Mortem that Hellhammer was a part of back in the early 90s. Finally releasing their debut. So, that's going to be fun to hear. And then, hell, even speaking of Norwegian death metal, this week, Blood Red Throne with Fit to Kill. Basically the Norwegian Cannibal Corpse and Bloodbath, essentially. So, I'm looking forward to hearing that. So many albums, but we'll talk more about that when we get to the actual episode at the end of the year. But anyways, thank you guys for watching episode 19. And thank you, Ricky and Hannah, for killing me.
Keep on rocking!
As on Monomorph says, raise your horns. We'll see you next time.
Never ends.
We'll see you next time when we go live. What?
Oh, good lord!
Holy fuck! Oh my god! Ah! No!
We're trying.
You had the gun too! Oh shoot! I forgot.
Oh,
You're my
okay.
Tessa, oh god.
Ow! Oh my goodness!
Holy.
Somebody
What
shot
just happened to Carson?
Somebody shot or
I face planted a freaking container.